All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to another episode of Wheel Tapping. This month, Tony and I decided to take a break and chill out because, work is hard, life is difficult. So we're going to take it easy and we're going to do a classic. But I'm going to let Tony introduce it. Tony, what are you doing tonight and what are we talking about?
Hey, well, tonight I am looking forward to lighting the fire pit and sitting out there and enjoying the evening.
All right.
Right after we talk about Transamerica.
I can totally get behind that. So, I mean, we just want to phone it in this week. So I think, let's just... This month. We're just going to phone it in. We're just going to take it easy. We're going to talk about, a game we love. And it's super simple. And yeah. I mean, what do you have to add about it, Tony? Do you have anything special?
Yeah, it was published in 2001. I think the primary publisher for us here in the United States is Rio Grande. And it was designed by Franz Benno de Longa, who is unfortunately passed on now. But he has designed many varied games that I actually like. And I think Transamerica is my second favorite de Longa game. Okay. I want to spiel off some titles here, okay?
You spiel away.
Fjords is an amazing two-player game, and it's actually being kickstarted right now for a reprint that supports even more players. Fjords, it's an awesome game. Big City, Manila, Goldbrow, the often unheard of Zoltag, which is an auction game where the lowest bid wins, and then you have to do stuff with the money, so it's like that you were paid to do it. So how far down do you want to cut your throat? And Iron Road is a winsome game that's actually became Transamerica.
Okay.
Yeah, so but of course my favorite de Longa game of all time is Container.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But Transamerica, number 2, baby, right under Container, Transamerica.
Oh, Container, I like Container, but I think it's super group dependent, right? Like if you don't have a group that can deal with that completely free market, you're in for a rough night. But I love pushing me some boats. Yes, you do. You need 5 like-minded people. Absolutely. Pushing some boats, for sure. So Transamerica, this is it's in the style of a cube rails, right? Like it's got the place a stick, make a route. So I think you like to call this a stick rails game, which I think, it comes off the branch of like a crayon rail, right? When you think about it.
Yeah, it really does. Because in those games you're connecting dots.
Yep.
With a crayon. In this game you're connecting dots with a little wooden stick.
Exactly. Although if you've ever played crayon rail games, you need a whole lot of sticks. Hence why
this game has a lot of sticks too.
It does. And interesting, no player colors. More on that to come. We're gonna bury the lead. All the sticks are shared, which is interesting. Which, you know what? Why don't we talk a little bit about the map? So let's start the yellow phase. So wheel tapping, we like to talk about the phases, and we're up to 19, so we don't see any reason to change that. So here we have the yellow phase, and the yellow phase is typically where we talk about maps and stocks. So the map, it's Transamerica. I mean, Trans-USA, technically. Let's be honest here, right?
Transamerica.
Right. Awesome.
Yes. It's got the USA.
It does. Exactly. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, if you're familiar with the USA, you'll be familiar with this map. I don't think, there's any crazy placements or anything that doesn't make sense, right? It's all pretty straightforward.
Yeah, for sure. It's got mountains. It's got the Appalachians, it's got the Rockies, it's got the Mississippi River, so there's terrain that you have to go over. And what is it? You get like two build points on your turn, and you can lay 2 sticks, or some of that rough terrain actually has 2 lines on it. It takes both build points to go over like the Mississippi River and stuff like that.
Exactly. And some of the fun here is trying to get other people to pay for your route and make them do it.
Oh,
Because,
absolutely.
I think it's helpful to tell people a little bit how the game is played, right? Because, okay, maybe you're not familiar with it, but it's pretty straightforward. On your turn, you're going to lay sticks. At the beginning of the game, you draw 5 cards. And they tell you the 5 destinations you must connect. And they are going to be in 5 regions across the country. Everybody gets to pick cards. But typically you will not have the same thing as somebody else, although it does happen from time to time because there are some duplicates in there. But yeah, I do believe...
Not in my copy.
Not in your copy?
No,
No?
each city is unique.
Okay, see, I can't even get the rules right. Okay, fair enough. But basically, you're just building routes. You place down your drum, and that's where you start. That's your train company, and you just start building out from there. And as soon as you connect into the mother network or somebody else's network, then you may build anywhere as long as you can trace a route back to your initial spot. So it is a complete race to get there.
There's 5 regions. And so you get a random card from each region, which is one of the cities in that region. So you have to connect all 5 of those cities,
Right. Let me see. I think I can pull up a picture. Oh man, that's fancy talk. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. It's too much work. But
if you don't like American geography, there's Transamerica.
There is. And if you want to play it on hard mode, because I don't know where anything is, then Transamerica is your game. So what's difference for somebody who hasn't played Transamerica before?
Nothing but the map, really.
Okay.
So the map, you have to go across the Baltic to get to Scandinavia and across the Channel to get to England. There's some more water, of course. There's the Alps to deal with, stuff like that. So it's kind of same thing on a different map, if you will. Okay. There are, in the Rio Grande version, there's some ferry rules for going across those bodies of water and stuff like that put a slight twist in there. But I mean, it's really the same thing. But like you said, for many Americans, myself not included, because I love geography, I know where all these cities are, but most Americans don't.
Well, there you go. That's completely fair. It's definitely takes a little getting used to, and if you don't know where countries and cities are, you're going to struggle a little bit, I think.
Slow you down.
Yeah.
Now, but I'm wondering why. I realize that Mr. DeLonga is no longer with us, but why can't people make some other maps? Like Japan would be awesome with all those islands and stuff. Like, we need more maps.
That is a really good question. I don't know if people haven't made more maps for this, or if there's any, content. That would be interesting. Challenge accepted. You know what? I think that's an idea that you and I should kind of sit on a little bit, Tony. I think we may have a reason to want to do that in the future.
Okay. All right.
You think? I think that would make sense, right?
Sounds good. Let's ask the viewers to keep that under their hats too.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Exactly. No mumming, no wording. So we kind of talked about the green phase a little bit in the route building and how it works, but I think it's worth pointing out that it's a lot of fun to try, and sometimes, because you go in reverse order when you place out your pieces, so you can sometimes just jump in on somebody else's network and go to town. Yeah. Like, you could totally hitchhike. It's so much fun.
Because even though there's, you get these 5 random cards and all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, there's actual thought into where do you start on the map to build my routes? Because you have to pick a starting place in like player order, right? And so,
right.
Do I want to be isolated from everybody else? Probably not a good idea. Do I want to be close in there and sponge off of them, but they'll sponge off of me? There's all those kinds of things. Do I focus on this connection first, and then when someone tries to get into my rail, I get all of there's actual thought involved in it, in how you build your network.
Absolutely. So it's
There
definitely,
you go.
yeah, I found a map for us. So thanks to the BGG user who posted that. Much appreciated.
There you go.
The the fun part, I think, too, is that it is literally a race. So you are completely running around trying to get this done as fast as possible. And you can really catch some people out, because what's going to happen is at the end of the game, when you reach that, everybody else is going to lose points based on how many links they're short,
Right.
essentially. So
Right. And it's low score wins, right? It's like
yeah,
golf.
it is. But then
You see the track at the top, right? That's the score track. When someone reaches the end, game over, and the dude at the other end wins.
exactly, and that bar moves too. Like the longer you play the game, the bar kind of moves in. So usually, what do you think? Like 3 rounds you play of this in a sitting, typically.
yeah, yeah, it's usually three for sure. And
Now
it's very short game. And 6 players, dude. 6 players. Come on.
6, yeah, you got to play it at a nice high
Do it.
count. It's a lot of fun when you're all in each other's business. The
That's right.
So let's move on to the brown phase. So the brown phase, we tend to like to talk about shenanigans. Now, in the core box, unfortunately, is shenanigan free. It's called Vexation. It was a small little almost promo that came with a magazine that was literally 12 little sticks, like say Catan sticks, in a bag. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And but oh my goodness, those little sticks. So on the map you see there's all the regular railroad is black. But if you lay your color stick, nobody else is allowed to use that specific link. So they have to build around it. So that person, if you want to say, I'm going to pay to go across the mountains, or I'm going to pay for this really annoying place to go, or I don't want you in and out of my city, you can keep some people out or make them have to spend a lot of time, which it's a race. They have to build around about it.
Race. Yeah, because
Absolutely.
it'll take like 2 sticks to go around you when you place your little vexation. And the
Exactly.
group I play with, very fond of building private bridges, if you will, over the Mississippi River, right? Sorry, this is my bridge. You go around.
Yep.
It gets
Exactly.
it gets groan worthy,
Yep. But that little stall that might cost somebody, a round to do a build around, because literally a build around is 1, 2. But if it happens to
Absolutely.
be doubles, it might be 2, 4, movement points. So it definitely can depend. But
Yeah.
Vexation, pick it up. If you have an older copy, I've yet to receive it, but I actually just ordered colored sticks from Rails on Board when I was getting my replacement tokens for 1849, because I don't like the cardboard. I want wood. I want wood.
For sure, for sure.
I like the
Um,
wood.
I don't know if this is a shenanigan, but there's one other thing I'd like to talk about here, right? It's like
Please, please.
I am never going to put a stick in a city that's not in my hand, right? So I'm always going to go around other cities and stuff, and you know, and so does everybody else. So like, the cardinal rule at our table is if I don't have St. Louis, I'm not going to build to it. I'm going to build around it, on my way.
Because you just don't want to instantly connect somebody else.
Yeah, I'll make them lay the one stick, because
Ooh, I
that could
like
be
that.
one more turn.
I like that. That's mean. That's mean.
It's
Mean's
the
good.
um, it's the Transamerica equivalent of tragic track.
Yes.
But it's obviously far less tragic sometimes.
Absolutely. So that's the brown phase and the shenanigans as we have it. So let's move on to the gray phase. So this is where we talk about the feels. What does it make us feel? We've kind of already given you some of our impressions, and I think it's fair to say we like it. It's a lot of fun. One of the first kind of train games you can get people into and sneak them in, I think, very easily.
Yep.
I like it. It works. What are your feels on this one, Tony? How long you been playing it?
Oh yeah, for years. It's just great filler. Um, you know, comes out a lot. My wife loves it. We like to get as many people as we can at the table to play it. Doesn't take a long time. If you're using Vexation, there's some groans. There's a couple people that don't like Vexation. They're Care Bears or whatever. The 6 player is where it's at. If you ask me, I love sometimes you'll get a deal and you've got Seattle and Washington D.C. and you're like, holy crap, how am I going to connect all this crap? But you find a way. Sometimes you don't, but you do find a way. Riding on the coattails of your friends around the table, of course.
Yeah, and sometimes they go the complete opposite, right? Like they picked everything in the south and you have to drill north to get up to Seattle because nobody else is going and you're just burrowing through the mountains. Yeah.
It's a lonely feeling.
It is. And you usually know that round is going to end in a way that is not helpful for you.
How many points will I score? Hopefully not too many.
But the nice thing is that generally speaking, you have another round to make it up, right? If you have a bad round in this, chances are 5 minutes coming down the road, you're going to have another game and probably won't be better or worse. It'll be what it's going to be. It's great. Really like this one. This is a lot of fun. This isn't going to go anywhere. And you know what? It just saw a reprint. So if you get a newer version, I want to say that the Vexation's included, although the box size is ridiculous because it's a full-size Ticket to Ride box for a game that can fit into a Ziploc bag.
I've seen some versions that have both America and Europa in it as well.
Yeah, I've seen that too. And maybe that's what it is, but I know that it's just like the box is just way too big, for the real estate it is.
Even this box, this box is like 50% insert and 50% game. It does not have to be this thick.
No, and it's one of those that's a great travel game because it doesn't take up a huge amount of space, and I literally have put this in a Ziploc bag and thrown it in a suitcase because it's just perfect for that. You can just take it, and it's a great play at the beach kind of game if you actually don't want to go outside and things like that. So good stuff. Yeah. All right. I think that's our feels, Tony. I think let's so we don't have a priority deal marker for y'all this time because there is no priority deal. Everybody takes turns going. But we did want to tell you that actually this is our April Fool's / Serious Fools episode because we actually really like this game and are happy to throw a little spotlight on it. So, yes, pick it up, play it, have a lot of fun. But this is our little April Fool's joke for this year because we need a little laughter this time around. Last year, April Fool's, no, don't do it. Not cool. This year, absolutely cool. Do it. Have fun.
Last year, not cool. Yeah. All of last year, not cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not just April.
So we will have a quote unquote real episode coming your way in a week, and where Tony and I will discuss the print and play special that we talked about. We're just going to get that together and put that out for y'all. So we hope you enjoyed this little fun. I know I did. I love this game. I want to go play it right now. Absolutely.
Great game.
So that's all I have. Tony, anything you want to tell the peoples at home before we sign off on this thing?
No, not really. Just have fun, stay healthy.
Have fun, stay healthy. And remember, the expansion for this is called Vexation, not vaccination. Let's not get those confused, right?
That's true.
Yeah. Easy to happen. Maybe that could be the April Fool's joke. You have to make a different kind of route for different reasons. Who knows? All right, everybody. Be well, stay safe, and we will see you next time. For joining us this month, be sure to tune in next month to see what shenanigans Tony and I will get ourselves into. Tony and I would like to give a special shout out to all the patrons who support the show. Thank you for listening, supporting, and taking care of us. You can also help us out if you want a shirt. Be sure to check us out on Teespring.
Where we all
bring something
to the table.
pull up a chair.